Hi, you're watching News 9's Deccan Vahini. I'm Pratibha, and today we are in conversation with an exemplary bureaucrat who harbored the dream of being in politics, but perhaps things didn't go according to plan. Metro Man E. Sridharan. He executed the Delhi Metro and the Konkan Railway with such precision that was unprecedented in the country, making him a legend of sorts. But good work does not always translate into votes, and that's something that he found out the hard way during the Kerala Assembly elections. After dabbling with politics for some time, Mr. Sridharan has decided to call it quits and has decided to retire from active politics. Mr. Sridharan, many thanks for joining us. Let me begin by asking you what prompted you to take that decision.
I decided to leave active politics mainly for two reasons. One is my advanced age. I am now running 90. That is a pretty old age. And the second is a decline in my health condition during the last 3-4 months. That is after the elections. I had to undergo insertion of two stents in my heart, and then also a pacemaker had to be installed. Then I thought I can't be very active and vigorous at this age and with this health condition. But I am with BJP still, and I'm available to them for any guidance or expertise they want.
Okay. So you're available for any kind of advice that the BJP wants. But in retrospect, when you think about when you dabbled with politics or when you decided to enter electoral politics, what do you think went wrong? Were you in a wrong party? Was it because people from Kerala don't connect with you? Now when you think about it, what do you think went wrong?
Well, it was not that I joined the wrong party. I joined BJP. It was a very positive decision of mine because I felt BJP is the only party which can save Kerala at that point of time. But during the election also, I was very, very optimistic that I would win, particularly seeing the response from the public when I went around the my area. I found I was very confident, but somehow the results were against me when the counting came. I don't regret it. In fact, looking back, I feel it was a blessing in disguise, because with my present health condition and old age, I would not have been able to run around and perform the duties of an MLA. So, and being a single MLA representing BJP is not going to help. I will not be able to do anything for the state. Whereas now, not being an official MLA, I can still do quite a lot for the state.
Absolutely. You look very fit and healthy at 90, and I'm sure people of Kerala would have benefited from your contribution in whichever way it has been. But it was a very narrow victory for your opposition as well, Mr. Shafi Mohammed, just over 3,500 votes. But did you feel betrayed by the people of Kerala? You've done so much for the entire country, and when it didn't translate into votes, did you feel betrayed?
No, I didn't feel betrayed. It is that the opposite party, the UDF and the LDF, their mission was jointly to defeat BJP. Wherever they could win themselves, they went like that. Wherever they were not confident, they joined together. And this is exactly what happened in Palghat. There was a LDF and the UDF joined together just to defeat me. That's what I found. And I was warned about it. People who were very close to UDF and LDF, they told me that this is going to happen. It is one or two, 10 days before the election itself.
Okay. But were you wholly a part of the BJP in their entire process, or were you confined to your constituency?
I was only confined to my constituency. I didn't go out of the constituency. Only Palghat I concentrated because I was not, the other constituents were not familiar to me. Palghat, at least I had my studies there, I had grown up there, so I knew the constituency very well.
But this is something you've spoken about before as well, that BJP's vote share in Kerala only reduced in these Kerala Assembly elections, despite the kind of efforts that the BJP put in. So you said that there could have been a change in strategy. What are the changes you would suggest to the BJP?
The main thing is, you see, there were very frequent changes at the president's party top level. This is not good. You see, the person should be there at least for 3 to 4 years continuously, should have an image for the entire state. That time, Mr. Surendran didn't have, unfortunately, because they were all changing. Every time there was some dissension, one person was taken out, posted as a governor, somebody was posted as an MP, that sort of thing was happening. That is not a good thing. There should be continuity in the leadership. That is one thing I suggested. We should not go on changing leaders. That is one. Then I said BJP has to change its image in Kerala. Because Kerala, the Hindus are just about 50% only. The other communities are quite strong enough. So I said BJP should not look as though we are only playing the Hindu card. BJP should definitely change the stance, and that they are for the entire people. They are for the people of Kerala, not for the Hindus of Kerala. That is a very important shift in the policy required. And they should show it also, not merely saying that. That should be evident in their actions, in whatever they say, that they are standing for the whole people of Kerala. Look at how Narendra Modi is functioning. He never functions for just BJP or for Hindus. He always says it's the people of India. That atmosphere has got to be brought in here. That image BJP must change. That was my recommendation to them. And then I said, not only change of image, people should realize that BJP is doing really good things for the state. It's not merely during the election time. There are so many things that can be done as it is. That sort of thing should be done.
Okay, but
I'm sorry. I also said it should not be our fashion to go on criticizing whatever the government does. When the government does something good, that also we should appreciate. Okay. So what is a sort of a dharmic attitude has to come into BJP. That is what I wanted.
Okay. The demographics of Kerala are also very different. And, what you suggested is also very idealistic for a political party as well. But were these suggestions made to the party forum, and what was the response to it?
I made it to the party forum.
Okay.
Certainly they are considering it. And but now they're reorganizing many setups and all that in Kerala. Once that reorganization work is over, I'm sure they will take my suggestions very seriously.
Okay, but the recent issues that the BJP has picked up include, love jihad, the halal controversy that has happened in Kerala as well. So it doesn't look like for now that the BJP is deviating from the kind of topics that you mentioned.
I think they will change. Definitely, they will change.
Okay.
Many of them are individual proclamations, not the party's policy. The parties should have a very real, rigid, neutral policies that will help the people. In the way, of course, it will help the Hindu community as well. But we should appear as though we stand for the people of Kerala and not for a particular community.
Okay. Of course, the party is made of the individuals, and several of such individuals have made these statements. Do you see that making a dent in the party's prospects further in Kerala going forward, looking at what's happening currently?
No, they are not really started revising their stand or revising their policies. But that will happen, I'm very sure. That is what is happening in the rest of India. particularly you see in the center, Government of India center, the way Narendra Modi is functioning, he is functioning for all the people of the country, not merely for a particular section of the people. That sort of attitude is required in Kerala also.
Okay, but do you see a disconnect between the BJP in the center and the BJP in Kerala on the issues they pick up, on their approach to issues within Kerala? Do you see a big disconnect?
No, there is no disconnect. The only thing is, as I mentioned to you, particularly because the leadership in Kerala is just 4 months or 5 months old. That's not enough. If they are 3-4 years and had frequent contact with the central leadership, actually they will fall in line with the policies of the central leadership.
Okay. Okay. So, do you see a future where the BJP will come to power in Kerala?
Certainly. I'm very, very optimistic about it. Very, very optimistic about it.
Okay. The BJP has taken a Hindutva line that gets criticized in the center as well. There are several states, several leaders, national opposition leaders also who have spoken about it. Since you have spoken about it on a more inclusive approach, do you identify with the path that the BJP has taken up of Hindutva, or how do you differentiate between Hindutva or Hinduism? Do you say it's the same?
See, actually, Hindutva is not a policy of BJP at any stage. But BJP's policy is for Indians, anybody. And that policy has to go on. And everybody has realized that. I don't find the central leadership there's any change at all. That whatever is being done is for the good of the country, for the good of the people, all across party line, across religious lines.
Okay. Okay. So then, as you move away from politics, what are the memories you take with you?
Well, very sweet memories, I would say, because it was a good exposure to me in the political field. But I am not leaving politics. I'm only leaving active politics, I would say, because I don't like to take up any particular responsibility in the party or work day and night for the party. That is not right. But I am available, and my moral support and even physical support whenever it's is still available for the party.
Okay. In fact, you started, you were a part of the RSS even in your school days as well, and then you decided to enter politics at a very later stage. So now, when you think about it, do you think that maybe at an earlier age I should have entered politics?
No, I don't. I don't have that wish at all, because I was very busy with my own professional field, serving the country till the last day. The last day was 15th of March. Till then, I was in official position, serving many metros and many this thing. Only on 15th of March, I resigned from everything just to stand for its constituency. So there was no gap in between.
There's no way you could have joined earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've had an exemplary record as a bureaucrat, and you've been honored by the Indian government, the top honors by the French government as well, and you've been recognized for your work across the country. Do you see this your entry into politics as a slight dent on your otherwise image, your otherwise perfect image?
No, not at all, because people know me very well. Even when I entered the politics, they did not look at me, except my adversaries. They did not look at me as a BJP person. They still look at me as a technocrat. And I have that image even now as a technocrat. Many people approach me for a lot of guidance, even from all sections of the people. They come to me for that.
Okay, so if not for the BJP, if you were in another party and you had entered politics, do you think you would have had more success?
No, certainly not. In the present,
you would have never considered it.
Yeah, no, I would not have considered that at all.
Okay. Okay, all right. So how do you look back, lastly, as we wrap up, I want to ask you, the country is always going to remember you as Metro man, Mr. E. Sridharan. So, how do you look back at your journey of so many years of changing the face of public transport in the country? So many years after you executed these projects, it still continues to be the pride of India. People still remember you as somebody who was able to execute projects at a time when nobody even considered it possible. So, how do you look back at that?
I look back to my career with very fond memories, uh, uh, very exciting moments that I have faced during that period, and the results that I have achieved. And I'm mostly grateful to the people. Whatever I have done, they appreciated it. That is why gradually I become acceptable to all sections of the society in the country. And I earned the nickname of Metro Man also. It was thrust on me. I never worked for that. So I feel really very proud of my record as a bureaucrat.
Absolutely. And, the country will always remember you for the contributions that you have made. Thank you so much, Mr. Sridharan, for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So I will